flies, some sparkle duns. I've seen some CDL sparkle duns. I've seen some with deer hair. But we need to kind of experiment, see what works best. I'm not very good at sparkle dun tying. The sparkle dun, though, there's a lot of people who really love this fly. I am not one of those people, but the sparkle dun has a lot of fans. If you look at any, list of flies for a particular region, river, East Coast, West Coast, mountains, everybody says the sparkle dun is the sparkle dun's always on that list. So we'll try to tie up a few, we'll see how it goes. We got some little 18s here, maybe we go smaller. Let's just see how it goes with these. I'm thinking though thread is going to be important. And it looks like a lot of them have thread bodies. The thing I don't like about it is the tail. I just can't get myself to throw a trailing shuck on such a small pattern. But that's the only hang up I have. And that's the reason people love them, is because of that little trailing shuck. So, we'll start with this UTC 70. Oh my gosh, this is a bit unruly. Start with this UT70 white because it'll lie flat. And then we can dub around it. Colors, we could do olive for bluing olives, or yellow for sulfurs, or PMDs. You could do, I think that's about it for our sparkle dun colors. The color of the hair is also going to matter. So let's get our thread started, and then we'll try to do a little bluing olive to start. Get a little bit of our sparkly dun tail. Tail section. This is polypropylene yarn. I just cut out a section. I'm gonna start real light. And then I'm gonna kind of roll it on itself, trim it out, tie it in. And then the last thing we'll do is we'll chop the tail. That'll be our last step. I think I want to tie in the wing and then dub the body. I think that's the best way to go. So this is a good, nice fine hair, deer hair, a little bit darker. But I think the color will work for both the yellow, the PMD, and the olive. So I'm gonna cut out some of the hair. And pick it, get rid of some of the trash. I don't know how much I need. And then I also don't know whether you tie it in front or back. Thinking facing forward. Let's try to stack it as best we can. Gently put it in our tube. Get the tips even. Tips are nice and even. Take them out. Give it a little flick. Transfer to the other hand. And measure your wing. I'm gonna cord my thread up so it's not super flat, but not super tight either. And I'm gonna do one loose wrap, and then more tension. I'm gonna break the thread if I give it more tension, but I imagine you want to take it to the limit. And then one loose wrap. I'm gonna let go. I'm gonna bring up the wing, and then a couple wraps in front. Travel it back behind. Actually, I'm gonna leave it in front. We need to fan it a little bit. Not all the way around, but I think you fan it a little bit. Then we have to trim out this. This is gonna be a headache. Triminy. How we looking? Trim it out. Get it close. All right, now I think we're ready for the dubbing. Almost ready for the dubbing. I don't have a very fine point on my scissors. I think it would help if you did. We're doing an olive to start. Get a little olive dubbing. If I could find it. Should be in here. If we don't do the olive, we'll just go right to the yellow. I guess we'll just go right to the yellow. Here's olive, but it's a little bit too coarse. We'll just go with this. Maybe we'll only do yellow. Take a little bit of the dubbing. Get a dubbing rope going. spin it up. Nice and tight. We're gonna travel the thread back. Why is that not focusing? We're gonna travel the thread toward the tail and then back up toward the wing. So travel. I don't think you should have dubbing on the thread when you're doing this. Then we have to cover this bump. I guess you don't have to cover it. And then we want to finish out in front. And then we'll trim this tail to about there. I think the wing is too thick. You could trim it out a bit. I think the wing is too thick. Let's whip it and then try again. 1, 2, 3. And then after this, we'll time my version of the fly I prefer over the sparkle done. We'll tie that. But the silhouette is nice, a hackleless pattern. The silhouette is nice. Try one more. Get the thread started. Tie in the tail. Go a little bit heavier this time on the trailing shuck. I'm going to try to get it all the way back on that hook. There we go. Let's do the wing. The first one we did, the wing was too heavy. So we'll try to do slightly sparser. Clean that up a bit. Give it a stack. Little stack. Come on out. Get rid of those loose ones. And transfer. And I'm gonna pull some because it's still too much. I'll try that. I'm also gonna put this one a little bit higher up. Measure the wing, wrap, get tighter, tighter. Let's come out in front. Then we have, this is the painful part, is trimming this thing. Trim it out. Hair this fine though has no buoyancy. So I think if you wanted this thing, you could fish it subsurface or in the film. I think it's meant to be fished in the film. But if you're fishing it like a dry, or you expect it to be like a dry, you would have to slather it in fly floating. Because I promise you, this thing is not gonna float. But if you're using a synthetic dubbing, the synthetic dubbing takes floating quite well and also sheds water well. So that wouldn't be a problem. Let's go ahead, do a dubbing rope. Let's leave a little bit more space up top here because we'll have to travel it back and then travel forward. The thread, that is. Let's get our tail under control. Travel our thread back, come forward. Let's try to cover that guy a little bit more. One more wrap. Then finish up top here. A little bit better, but not great. And then we'll whip it. I think I got the right amount of material though for the trailing shock. And I did a better job of dubbing the abdomen. So that's, can you see the profile? That's the profile. And that's how it's gonna sit. All right, so that is the sparkle done. Now I'm gonna do my preferred done, which is called for PMDs, which is called what do they call it? I don't know what they call it actually. But it has a trimmed hackle done. So I don't know what they call it. And no trailing shock. I'm gonna do CDL for the tail. Where's our CD? Here's a CDL feather. So we'll get it. Oh, I'm sure we can find a used CDL around here. That guy looked pretty fresh. Yeah, here's a used CDL. So we'll get 3 barbs of the CDL. No more, no less. those out. Give it a little measurement. Tie them nice and long. Nice and long. And then trim out. No, let's do the wing first. We'll do the wing first. We can go light yellow, dark yellow, or lighter brown. I like a color called Calabetus, but this is the suggested, we'll do this, the suggested pale morning dun color. Right here, this will be a good wing. This is CDC. And we'll tie just one feather and tip first, lying on its side, not, well, you could do flat, but I tend to do it on the side. Let's get the wing nice and high. Do too loose, and then we'll draw it back. Draw it back till about there. I tried to do the wing length about the same length as the body. When we're drawing back the thorax dun, this fly is called the thorax dun. It kind of positioned the feather a little bit further back, which is fine. No, not a problem. Then we can get our, let's dub the abdomen. No, we have to tie in a little hackle. Tie in a little hackle. We don't need much hackle, a couple turns. Something small. I wonder if that would work. I mean, it's oversized, but it might work. Let's try to find another one. These might be undersized. Nope, that'll work. Slightly under, but it'll be enough. Let's prep our hackle. Trim the butt. Trim the barbs. And then we'll tie it right at the base of the feather. And then we will draw it up. Yeah, I don't know why I did all that. I think dubbing is the abdomen first is better. What the heck? A little dubbing rope, nice and tight. Don't need much. Let's travel back. Travel back. And travel back. Start dubbing. Start dubbing. Keep dubbing. And dubbing. And dubbing. And dubbing. And we want one more dubbing. And dubbing. we want to stop here, so we have too much dubbing. I'm gonna try to get it off the thread. Okay, let's travel up. And we'll position here. We have a little dubbing buildup. Shouldn't be a problem. Then we'll wrap our hackle one in front. I'm sorry, one behind, one in front. Let's go two in front. Two in front just to cover that dubbing. And then we can trap our hackle. We still have something on our thread. Secure, secure, secure. Trim out the hackle. How we looking? Looking okay. Let's finish trimming this. Trim out the hackle, whip finish. And do one more. We trap some of the hackle in the whip. Let's try to get it out. If not, we'll just trim it out. I think we got most of it. Yeah, there's one still in there. Clip, upside down, clip. Now, you're gonna trim the hackle on the bottom side. You're gonna trim the hackle on the bottom side. How close you trim it, that's entirely up to you. I'm just gonna take it flat across. And then a little bit on this side. And eyeballing it. That's about good. So this will also have a low profile, but there's still a few hackle fibers coming off the side. And then you have the nice upright done wing. Is it better than the Sparkle Done? Here's the side by side. You tell me. You tell me. Let's do one more of those and then I think we'll call it quits. I think we'll call it quits. This hook has seen better days. Get our thread started. This is a really ugly hook. This one's a little bit better. We're going to do the abdomen first and then do the wing and the hackle. doing the wing and then the hackle and then the abdomen, that was just nuts. CDL 3 fibers. Measure the tail. Let's roll it on in. Tie it nice and far back, but not so that it's sitting down. That's good. And then we'll finish high, trim it out. A little bit of dub in. You could do blue wing olive would just be the same, a little bit different color wing, but same, you could do the same thing. And then most people, though, interestingly enough, most people don't trim their blue wing olive hackle on the bottom, which is interesting. You could, or I think you could leave it on this one too. Maybe it'd be better, it'd be different. Let's dub the abdomen. Our taper's getting a little jacked up. There we go. Stop there. We're gonna use, hopefully I can find it. Definitely can, oh yeah, here it is. So this was the butt section of our wing. We'll use this, we trimmed here, we'll use this for the wing. It's not quite as good as the tip section, but waste not, want not. There we go. Come up front, couple wraps. Trim it out, slightly up, slightly down. Maybe a little bit more down. I'm gonna get a little peak there. Little hackle. Yep, length is good. Trim the butt. Tie-in point. Tie it in. Advance your thread. There's a piece of CDC coming off the back. I'll take that off. Wrap your hackle. One. Try to get two behind. Nope, we're only getting one behind. Come up front. Don't wrap over the hackles, which we're doing right now. Go ahead, wrap, trap, and wrap, and trap, and secure. 3 wraps to secure. Trim it out. Whip finish. One more. Trap some hackles on that. Good. Cinch it down. Trim it out. Clean it up. Trim the bottom. That's enough. All right, let us review. Let us review. We gotta get the first one we did. So the first fly we tied was the Sparkle Dawn. And no brand sponsorships. I went sparse with the polypropylene for the trailing shuck. I went pretty sparse, and then I went heavy with the wing because I didn't really know. But it'll fish fine. It'll work. And then you can see there's a little gap where I didn't dub fully over the hair butts. This was Sparkle Dawn number 2, fuller trailing shuck, a little gap with the wing, and then I tried to do a sparser wing, but it doesn't really look like it. But it'll work. And then the second fly, third fly rather, was this one with the butt, or the tips of the CDC. This is a Thorax Dun, all meant to emulate Pale Morning Dun's CDL for the tail. We got a nice taper for the body, and then wrapped a dun colored hackle and then trimmed the bottom. Same thing, but this one has the butt of the CDC trimmed to the shape of a wing. So Sparkle Dawn, Thorax Dun, finished. What the fuck is that? Oh, I can't say that on. Someone said WTF. All right, see you guys.